See, I think we've got TikTok going, we've got Instagram going. All right, and I think I've got everything else going now. So, hello everyone, it's Cassandra Terry. I am your manifesting miracle maker, and today is Friday. It is, it is Focus Friday. On Fridays, every Friday, good morning, Sonia. Every Friday, we talk about focus. And this time I'm well, not that unusual for me. If you guys follow, y'all know I like quotes and I like acrostics. And we've got an acrostic this morning. I believe that's what I did last night. Let me double check. But I think I've got an acrostic for you guys um, to help you remember and help us to kind of peel back and really look at the importance of focus and how you can use focus to catapult you towards the life that you are desiring. We all have dreams, we all have goals, we all have hopes and wishes, and a way that we would like to see our life unfold, things that we would like to accomplish. And in order to have something different, we have to be willing to do things differently. And so, what we do every week is we roll Monday through Friday, and we're talking about what some of those things are, that some of the practices, some of the habits that we can develop, some good skills that we can use that will help us have the things that we desire. And on Fridays, we always talk about focus. And since every week we're talking about the same topic, I look for different ways to bring that topic to you. We all learn differently. And so just looking at different ways that can help you really dig into the topics and hopefully one of these ways will resonate with you. The lives are always recorded, so you'll be able to go back to it at a later date. If you can't catch it right now, it's always going to be on all the different social media outlets because I'm basically just about everywhere at once right now. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I see you guys joining from all of those different places, and I welcome you. Let's see what comments we have already. Yadish Warji. I know Yadish that I really, really, really just butchered your name, but I see you saying hello from LinkedIn. Where are you joining from? And hopefully I'll see you in an audio room at some point so that I can hear the correct pronunciation of your name. Hello, Dina. Welcome. It's good to see you here. So, you guys keep coming in, and we're going to go ahead and get started. When we talk about focus, when I talk about focus, what I'm really saying is taking all of your energy, all of your resources, your focus for one at a particular point in time, taking it all and pouring it into something, pouring it into not just anything, but the right things to have the life that you desire. So, how do you do that? You start by getting clarity. You have to be really clear about what it is that you want to accomplish. And once you've got that clarity, then you can evaluate all of your activities and determine whether or not they're moving you in the direction that you would like to go in, or if they're standing between you and the things that you would like to accomplish. That evaluation, that assessment is so important. We're all divvied up the same 24 hours in a day, right? We all have different responsibilities, different support systems, and different goals and dreams. But the amount of time that we have, that is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic status, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter what your race is, what you do for a living. 24 hours a day is the one thing that's equally distributed to everybody. So, how do you get a leg up? How do you start to accomplish the things that are really important to you? Focus is one of those things that can really help you. When you can, for a moment, have that tunnel vision and really focus in on the things that you desire and make sure that you are doing the activities that you're spending your time on, where your energy is going, where your focus is things that are going to support you accomplishing what it is that you have in mind, you'll get there. And I'm not talking about catapulting so that one day you're at the starting point and tomorrow you're at the finish line. I'm talking about consistent small steps day by day, building good habits, determining what those habits are, integrating them into your life so that they become a part of you, not something that you're trying for a moment. Because that's typically what we do. We'll get excited about something, we'll pour into it for a little bit, and then something else, that new shiny objects will grab our attention, and now we're on to something else. If you don't consistently pour into what it is that you want to accomplish, over time, the likelihood of you accomplishing it goes down and down and down. You're standing between you and the things that you want to desire. Dina said meditation. Meditation is huge for me. Having that quiet time and just checking in with myself is where a lot of my ideas are born, where I get what I call those divine downloads. Things come to me that I should be spending my time on, things that Talking Talk says my inner voice says I need coffee. Listen to your inner voice. Your inner voice is where your excellence lies. So if it's telling you you need something, who am I to stand between you and what your inner voice is telling you? So thanks for that morning chuckle, Talking Talks. That was great. Y'all, it feels good to laugh, right? I have been so busy that I haven't been able to talk about being consistent. I haven't been able to be consistently live. I keep having work meetings that are popping up at the same time that I'm typically here. Good morning. I always pronounce your last name wrong, but I like the way it's. Is it Harrowbids underscore thoughts? I know we know each other because we're connected through mm-mm-mm. Y'all old timers be sitting in sometimes. I know we know each other, and I am blowing. I am forgetting your real name right now. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And I just have to be honest. Sometimes the recall is just not, especially first thing in the morning. It's just not what it used to be. But I welcome everyone who's joined. I appreciate your presence. Linda says, good morning from the good old US of A. Thanks for joining, Linda. I appreciate you. Deborah, yes, I knew that. I knew that. And and your Deborah is spelled the same way as my aunt's. And I was really trying to pull that out, but it was just slipping away from me. So I apologize, Deborah. And thank you so much for joining. I see you consistently, and I so appreciate your presence. So we were talking about focus. Olu from Nigeria, Jay, blessings back to you as well. Thank you guys for joining. Um, I like to, as I can, say hello as you guys are coming in. So sometimes I lose focus right in the middle of talking about focus. It is okay. It is going to happen. And when that happens and you realize that you've lost focus, instead of allowing that to throw you off track even farther, you just take a moment and collect yourself once you have the awareness that you're off, you can say something like I just did. Oops, I slipped away, but I'm back, guys. Make light of it. Sometimes we're so heavy, we're so hard on ourselves, we don't give ourselves grace. And when we don't give ourselves grace, we farther hold ourselves back because we walk around with the heaviness, a weightiness, that inner voice. Instead of asking for coffee, it's telling you, bad things about yourself. Know your inner voice. Know the messages that are playing. And when you find out that there's some messages there that are not serving you, do the work to start to reframe them. Talk to those messages. Hear what they are. Don't push them down, because when you start to do that inner work, when you start to realize that you have negative messages playing about yourself, that's an opportunity for growth. That's an opportunity for you to look at those messages, start to speak to them, hit them with facts, tell them, be quiet. That's not me. I made a mistake for a moment, but I'm not a mistake. I may not have done that the way that I typically would. I faltered, but I'm not at fault. I just had a moment, and I'm right back, and I'm right back into it. You have to actually talk to that negative message and start to reframe it and give yourself the opportunity to get rid of that stuff, so that you are your own best advocate. You should be internally, mentally on autopilot, cheering yourself on Mondays. This Monday, early like 6 a.m. my time, I was a part of a group on LinkedIn that was speaking early, because it's the beginning of the new week. Opportunities are abound. People are typically tired and sluggish from the weekend and hate the fact that they're getting back into work. Olu, it's so good to see you. It's been a while. How are you? Emmanuel from Nigeria, welcome. And so you want to, and when that he was calling people's name one at a time and having them, join him on the stage and speak. And I think maybe I was like the third one. And I remember when he started to do my intro, I actually started to clap my hands for myself. I just had that moment where I was just kind of pumping myself up a little bit, getting the energy up and going. And then when he, told me to unmute my mic, and it was my turn, I was ready to go, and I had the right energy, and I was excited and ready to connect with the crowd. Be your own cheerleader. Be your own hype person. Be your own. Sometimes there's nobody else to do it. If you can't encourage yourself, sometimes you miss what you need to really get yourself in the right mindset to give it your all. So don't be afraid to tell yourself, yes, I'm that girl. Yes, I'm that guy. Yes, I'm capable. Yes, this is my moment. I am ready to go. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to kill it. I've got this. Be your own hype person and get yourself ready and get that energy up. And that good energy draws other people to you. And before you know it, you do have hype people. You do have people telling you the same thing that you've been saying to yourself for a while. So do not miss the opportunity. Before, Mondays, let's go Monday. We're going to knock some stuff out this week. And so Motivation Monday, his name is Eric, and it's Eric and Friends, and that's what I did, and I did it subconsciously. It took me a moment to realize what was happening, and before I knew it, I was clapping my hands and I was hyping myself up. Have you ever seen people when they give you a look backstage before performers go on? They do that. They get themselves in the right headspace. They get themselves hyped up, and then they're ready to deliver the best of what it is they have to offer. We can do that for ourselves. It takes a little focus, it takes a little motivation, it takes that internal I've got this. And if you don't believe you have it, look at that. Why not? Olu, I see you have to leave. It's okay, but I'm so glad that you were able to drop by for a few minutes. Thank you. Why don't I feel like I have it? Is there something that I need to do? Is there some training I need to have? Is there some inner work that needs to go on? Or is there just some negative self-talk, some self-limiting beliefs that are getting in my way? Have that talk with yourself, have that assessment. If there's nothing real there, then it's that internal message is playing, and that's holding you back. So what you want to do is deal with that messaging, right? So, but if there's something there, that's okay. That's opportunity. Now you realize that there's some work you need to do, and you can plan that out. You can set it up, and whatever skill it is or whatever it is you feel like you need to develop, you can do that work. But we talked about yesterday on another on my I think it was day before yesterday on another live, that you want to focus on progress and not perfection. That's an important point, guys. The stars and the moon and everything will not shine exactly how we want it to do. And so you can't allow that to hold you back. Sometimes you just got to put the energy in and you just got to go. You just have to you just have to get started. Take that first step. I'm looking at my setup and I was showing it to my husband this morning. When I started, it was just my little laptop. No extra camera, no extra microphone, nothing. And I can tell the difference in what the output looks like. But over time, as I've done more and more, I'm more comfortable talking. I can do it in a shorter period of time. I ramble a little bit less, even though I stop and acknowledge folks as they're coming in. So I can control my time a little bit better. I have better lighting. I've got 3 devices going at once, so I can be on all the different social media. When I started this, none of that was happening, but I started. And as I learned things, as I integrated those things into what I was doing, and I keep expanding. I'm sure I'll look back 6 months from now, and this little setup will be like, okay, girl, you really thought you had it going on, but look where you are now. Because we continue to progress. When we know better, we do better. But you have to start. So start with what you have. Put everything into it. Give it all your focus. Determine the end goal. Where am I trying to get to? And then you start to step by step evolve that. But you have to start with that first step. Get started. Put some energy into your dreams. And then you'll see that it'll evolve over time. What you thought was it, you'll start to learn and develop and evolve, and it'll start to get bigger and bigger, better and better. Deborah says, I tell my son to push those negative thoughts away and make positive thoughts to combat them. Exactly. That's exactly it. You replace the negative with the positive. And have you ever heard fake it till you make it? Even if you don't quite believe it yet, your brain does not know the difference between a real fight and a fight that's just going on in your head. So if you're telling it over and over again, these positive things, eventually those will become your default thoughts that will become integrated into how you process, and the positive thoughts will start to be how you process things and what comes out first. So yes, push those negative thoughts away and replace them. Don't just pretend like they're not there. Actually replace them with the positive thoughts. So I do have an acrostic for you guys that I wanted to share today. Let me pull that up. Let me see. Is this it? I have so many notes. There it is. And you may have noticed in the title, I've got F.R.E.E. free. Free yourself with focus. And we're going to use the word free to come up with a few actionable steps that can help you gain the focus that you need to really work through. And one of the things I want to remind you, I've said this a few times before, we're all busy. We're all involved in lots and lots and lots of activities. But are you doing the right things? Are you focused on the activities that are really going to move you towards the life that you desire? And if the answer is no, and you realize that, you gain that awareness, now you can make an adjustment and you can make sure that you are doing the things that are necessary to have what you desire. So the first letter in free is F, and the F stands for forget. Forget distractions. You have to move all of the noise away and have that tunnel vision where you're only focused on the things that are going to get you where it is that you want to go. That makes it a little bit easier to say no, because the distractions are going to come up. People will need your time, your attention. There will be opportunities for you to get involved in other things. You can't turn on social media without your DMs blowing up with people with great ideas of what they can do to help you or what you should be doing to make more money and all these things. In the most cases, those are distractions. I tell people no all the time. They come up with fantastic ideas, and some of them may be things that if I didn't already have a track that I was working, that I might be interested in. But I don't want to waste their time and I don't want to distract myself. So I respectfully decline invitations to get involved in different, business ventures and things like that, because I have my venture. I'm committed to my venture. I'm focusing on what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, and I can't let the next shiny object take my attention away. Because while I'm looking at that, my business stops. While I'm looking at that, I am not putting the energy into the things that need to move me where it is I'm trying to go. So it makes it a lot easier for me to say no. It also informs me what I should be saying yes to. It makes it really clear for me because I can ask myself, is this thing going to move me towards what it is I want to accomplish or not? So you have to get rid of the distractions. When you're focused and when you're working on the right things, you move from being busy to being productive. And you guys have heard me say it before, there is a difference. Everybody's busy. It is difficult to find somebody who's got so much time on their hands. We're all busy. We live in a very busy, fast-paced, rapid world. So, but what does that mean? Are you productive? When you're busy, you're doing a lot of stuff. But when you're productive, you're doing the right things at the right time to accomplish what's important to you. So you have focused your time, your energy, and your resources on the end game, your end game, what's important to you. And then, so that's F, forget distractions. R, reclaim your time. And we just talked about that. When you reclaim your time, you are focused on and putting your energy into the activities that are going to get you where it is you want to go. Other things may be exciting, other things may be vying for your attention, but for a period of time, you have to pour into you and what your desires are. So reclaim your time. And then the first E, engage fully. Put everything, engage fully, put everything into that activity, that dream, those goals, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. A good role that I can think of is writing. I enjoy writing. And one of the ways that Deborah and I know each other is that we were a part of a writing club, and I think she still is. And I really liked the club because it was giving us writing assignments, talking to us about different types of writing, helping us to develop those skills. And one of the things that it gave us was a consistent time to write. And so if you are a writer, you should have time carved out in your week, hopefully in your day, where you're consistently doing that. If you want to write a book, part of writing the book is just not putting the story together and getting it all plotted out, but developing the time to actually do that. You could say to yourself and to your family, Monday through Fridays from 6 to 8, I'm going to be locked up in my office and I'm going to write for 2 hours. And you give yourself that space. You create the opportunity for your success. You put systems in place that support what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You engage fully. Create that space that allows you to support the things that are important to you. And then everything else falls away. We're back to forgetting those distractions. For that period of time, you're not mommy. For that period of time, you're Cassandra the writer, and all of your energy, all of your focus is put into writing. So you've already talked to your husband and you said, hey, you got the kids for these 2 hours, and you guys have come to an agreement. And that gives your family an insight into what it is you're trying to accomplish, and then they can support you as well. A lot of times we don't communicate our dreams to the people who are a part of our support system, even if they're not necessarily willingly a part of, as in I'm going to do da 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 da. If your kids aren't aware that this period in time is carved out for something, they're going to be, in and out of the room every few minutes. And you don't want to make them feel like they're intruding. You don't want to make them feel like they're a bother. That's why, as a family, you talk about it and you all agree on when that time is going to be and what they're going to do while you're Cassandra the writer. And that gives them a chance and gets everybody on the same page, and it pushes the stress away a bit because the family is working together to support your dream. So husbands has the kids, the phone is silenced, no social media is going, and you've got that focused time to engage fully and work on your craft. It's important. And then the last one is to elevate your goals. As you start to, I talked about this a little bit before, the most important thing is progress versus perfection. However, you're going to see that you're going to be perfecting that goal over time. You'll be perfecting how you go at it. Just like I gave the example, what I'm doing now is so different. How I'm doing my lives now is so different than how I started. I've elevated. I have poured into what's important to me. I've purchased a mic and a phone, not a phone, but a camera and some lighting, things like that. As I continue to go through this, I will continue to evolve because I will learn more. I attend other people's lives, and those will give me ideas on how things can be done. I saw somebody on, and I noticed that they were on multiple places all at the same time. So I asked her about it. How did you do that? So she sent me a link to StreamYard, and I learned how to do that. So that allows me to be on three different platforms at once. And so it saved me so much time because I would do it once and then I would have to go and upload it and remember, the description and the hashtags and all that stuff for every different site. Now, all that stuff is set up the night before. I push live on three different devices and I'm everywhere. I didn't know that before. I'm sure there's other things that I'm going to learn. The right folks will come into my space and I will go into their spaces and I will learn other ways to keep evolving and elevating what I'm doing. When I started, I was just blogging, I was writing and enjoyed it. And I still do it. I don't do it as much as I used to because I'm doing other things as well in that same space, like lives and newsletters and audio rooms on LinkedIn. There's a lot of different ways that I'm putting my thoughts out there because people consume thoughts and they resonate with folks in different ways. So the more ways that I can share the content, the more likely I am to reach, more people. And that's part of the elevation. I enjoy seeing people come back. I really enjoy when new faces come and I see people for the first time. Let's see. Looks like Emmanuel has a question. I'm sorry, madam. What about a situation whereby a person finds it hard to deal with the negative feelings or reactions popping up in mind every day and disturbing the person's whole life? That's a great question, Emmanuel. And if that's your situation, I can guarantee you that you are not alone. Um, and that's part of the reason why I do the things that I do, because I used to really, really have those self-limiting beliefs and they were winning. They were they were really shrinking me as a person. They were shrinking my life. They were shrinking the opportunities that I would pursue because I didn't see my own value. I didn't see my own capabilities. And because I didn't see it, it limited what I would even attempt for myself. So for me, it was pretty deep. So I started going to therapy a couple years ago, and that really helped me make some peace with some things and find a new way of seeing and loving myself. Um, if you don't feel like that's necessary, there's things that you can do. You start to journal, and free form journaling is really healthy and informative because you just start to write with no end goal, and then you look at what comes out. And when you see those negative messages, you take a look at those and you start to like Deborah said, start to reframe them, start to speak positivity over your life. I've got a shirt that says speak life. I am so serious about that. That's why I say the voice within wins. The things that you believe and feel about yourself will dictate how your life unfolds much faster and much more accurately than external things. The external things you'll manage a lot better if you've done that inner work and you've got a good relationship with yourself. So, Emmanuel, if you will DM me your email address, I'll send you a free mini course that I wrote a while back. It's called Transforming Your Inner Critic into Your Inner Advocate. That course gives you ideas on how you can take those negative thoughts and you can actually do the work to reframe them. And you can start to speak positivity over yourself, over your life, over your situations, so that you're not so focused on your issues. You're not so focused on the problem, but you start to focus on the solution. Where you focus is going to determine what you find more of. So if you're focused on problems, that's all you're going to see are problems. So we have to learn how to shift our mindset so we can see what's positive in life. We can see what's possible in life, and we can turn on our creativity and start to look at ways to get to that positive. Deborah said, I made a short video yesterday about just breathing to deal with traumatic experiences. I don't know if you've shared that video already on your social media, Deborah, but if you have, I would love it if you put a link to it in the comments here, and I'll make sure. Let's say, are you what you're watching from Instagram, right, Deborah? So if you put it in the comments, then I'll share it on the other social media as well. And Emmanuel, that may be something that could very well help you. But I will also send you the link to my course. There's no charge for it at all. It's transforming your inner critic into your inner advocate, and it gives you some step-by-step opportunities and techniques to start to reframe those messages. Albert says, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us here, watching from Nigeria. I am getting more and more folks from Nigeria. And Albert, I think that is another energy draw. I did a DNA test a few months back, and I learned that the majority of my DNA hails back to Nigeria. So that's where my roots somehow are connected back to Nigeria, and I'm hoping to visit one day and get more indoctrinated into that culture and to understand more about where my family came from, my ancestors, and learn about the food and the music and everything. And I'm so excited to learn more about Nigeria. So every time I see somebody from Nigeria that joins, I'm thinking, "Hey, cousin." So we've got some if we trace back far enough in our DNA, we may find some real similarities, Albert. So I hope, Emmanuel, that helps you a little bit. Deborah has shared her link. Oh, it's a TikTok. She has shared that, and I will copy that link as soon as I get a break. I'll drop it into um, this event so that everyone has a chance to check out her video. And she said it's about breathing and using breath to work with traumatic experiences. So I'll get that out to everybody. I will try and remember also to put the link um, to the free course that I mentioned to Emmanuel. But if anybody really wants to get that, just drop me a DM and I can email it directly to you. So today we have been talking about free as an acrostic and using that to understand focus and how we can focus. And today's topic was free yourself with focus. The F, forget distractions. The R, reclaim your time. The first E is engage fully. And the last E is to elevate your goals. So free yourself with focus. Free your mind, open up opportunities, see yourself accomplishing the things that are important to you. And you do that by focusing your precious resources, your time, and your energy into the activities that will move you to what is important for you to have in your life. Deborah, thank you so much for posting. Thank you all for joining. It is Friday. We have made it through another work week. Today, I would do two things. I will do two things. I will wrap that week up. I'll go back and look at my to-do list and put a bow on this week because it's winding up whether I'm ready for it or not. And then I'll start to think about what my next week should look like, and the things that I need to get accomplished. I'll start with work because that's where I'm about to go, and I'll plan because when you plan, by that's one way that you're always going to focus. You'll start to create a to-do list of some sort, however it is that you do it. I just like to write down just a checklist of the things I need to get accomplished today. And then I knock those off as I go through the day. I wrap my day up feeling accomplished because I've gotten done the things that were important for me to get done. And then I keep replicating that over and over again and rechecking my list and checking in with myself to ensure that I started out as the goal is still important to me, because we do evolve over time, things change. So just have those conversations with yourself. Be self-aware, check in with you, and make sure that the majority of your time you're making yourself a priority. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The more you pour into yourself, the more you have to give, the more you will be able to share. So I encourage you to think of self care as care, not as selfishness, because the better shape that you're in, the better you can show up for everybody else, including you first. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for your comments and engaging. Share the live so folks can see it after. I forgot to ask you to do that on the front end. So hashtag replay for those of you who catch us afterwards, and send me your email and I will get those courses out to you. And I will link Deborah's TikTok on breathing through trauma for everyone. So with that, I'm going to sign off and wish you a wonderful weekend. We will be back on Monday at noon for Mindset Monday. I'll actually be on again with that group on LinkedIn. It's an audio room at 6 a.m. So any of you guys that have 6 a.m. Central, I'm Central Time. So any of you guys that have LinkedIn, Monday will be a busy day. I'll be on at 6 a.m. with Eric and friends. And then at noon, I'll have my mindset live. And then at 6 p.m., I have my audio room, which is also, more on mindset. So Monday, mindset, mindset, mindset. We get ourselves together to win the day so that we're prepared to win the week and set ourselves up to win at life. So enjoy your weekend, and I will see you back at least hopefully in one of those places, if not all three, on Monday. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.